Hello friends, welcome to another video of TradeLikeFxmakk. As you can see in this video, we are going to discuss the mistakes of traders. So this is not going to be a beginner centered video. It is going to be a slightly advanced video where first of all we will cover all the common mistakes that we see and the common mistakes that are usually shown to you on the internet. Then we will go into the little bit depth into the details, into the mistakes that are not much famous and are not shown to you by the influencers but matter a lot. So let's begin with the video. First of all, I have stated here some commonly talked about mistakes. The first mistake that we can see here is overtrading. As you all know that you guys are now mature enough to understand that these are some of the most common mistakes which I have stated over here, and you all might as well know, but let's understand the depth behind each. Okay, I'll not take a lot of time in explaining these common ones, but let's look at it to understand the basic dynamics. And the video is made on the basis of beginner center, so it is like that even if a beginner is watching the video, he can understand what we are talking about. So let's begin. First of all, I know that the numberings are wrong over here, but it's okay. Let's just focus on the content. So commonly talked about mistakes, first of all, which we all know, is overtrading. Now what does overtrading means? Overtrading means breaking your trading plan and taking more trades than expected. Now I had a previous video in which we have discussed about how can you make your own strategy, how can you decide the strategy which is suitable for you, and that you will understand that how many trades you must take per week. So you should have a predefined plan of overtrading to avoid overtrading. Second is over risking. You do not risk more than your risk plan. Moreover, your risk plan, I'll say your risk appetite. Don't risk more than your risk appetite. Knowing both is a different thing. My trading plan can say that I have to risk 10%, but my risk appetite will say that I can only afford to lose a 2%. That is the difference. So over risking is one thing which I have seen many traders just like forget this point of over risking. It is very important to understand over risking. Now the third one is FOMO while entering trades. This is very important. See, I have personally, this happened last week with me also. When I sat on the charts, I was looking to enter a trade, and basically the levels were very nice and everything was very nice, so I just forgot to check one of my confluences, which we are going to discuss on the advanced one. It is regarding news. So that is the reason while entering, what I personally, wait, let me highlight this one is very important, FOMO while entering, because your entry is very important. It defines your whole trade and how your trade is going to go. So that is the reason that FOMO is what? Fear of missing out, fear that I will just miss my trade and I'll just leave the money on the table. See, markets are a very big source of money. It is $7 trillion a day. You can extract $1,000 to $1,000 any day if you work properly with your strategy. So that is why controlling FOMO is very important, because it can lead you to huge unnecessary losses. My philosophy is that you take the correct trades. If you enter in FOMO and if you lose 2%, and if you take 10 such trades, you're losing 20%. Rather than wait for a correct setup, just don't make yourself think that more trades is equal to more profits. No, less trades is more profit. So rather than taking 10 trades and risking 2% each, you take one trade and risk 7 to 8%, and the perfect setup, get the perfect and the best setup with all the confluences. What I do is, personally, to avoid this FOMO while entering, what I do is, my rule is that if I sit on the charts, I cannot enter a trade before analyzing the charts at least for 15 minutes. So if I select that I have to enter this trade, I will not enter the trade if I haven't seen the chart for 15 minutes. What is this confluence at see, being a swing trader, first of all, I don't need to enter trades very urgently. So what this makes it happen is that when I sit on my trading desk, when I see a very nice opportunity, I just forget other confluences. Like if I see that I am getting a very good entry, I'll just forget checking the daily trend. So that is what FOMO is. FOMO is you see a little bit data and you feel very confident and you enter. I know I have elaborated a lot on this point, but this is a very important point because your entry is very key. It determines how your trade will go. So you should never enter in FOMO. That is why I have this rule that if I sit and if I spot a trade, I'll at least look at the chart for 15 minutes. What that forces is that I have to check all the confluences, because either I'm not taking a trade in 15 minutes, so I'll check everything. That is what FOMO while entering means. Now the next one is not confident in holding winners. Wow, this is also a very good point. I don't think that this is some basic level stuff. Usually people just discuss, usually people just discuss risk management and everything. This is kind of an advanced video of mistakes. This is actually my personal mistakes which I have done. This is what I am speaking with experience. That is why you will be able to relate with me. And even if you cannot relate currently, as you will put in the years, as you will put in the time, you will relate with each and every point stated over here. This is not something basic level knowledge that I have just created a video to get some views or something. No, this is what I have experienced. Not confident in holding winners. Now while we are in a trade, we see that we are already up a 1:2. Why should I risk more? Why should I hold more? My potential trade is 1:4 RR, but I'll just close it at 1:2 RR. That is not being confident. Okay, so that is something which you have to avoid. You have to be confident in it. The next is not cutting stop losses and revenge trading. I don't think I do need to elaborate more on these points, because you guys already know that not cutting SL will lead to blow your account, and everyone is aware of these points right now. Revenge trading, that if you lost a trade, you won't start a new trade on the spot in the opposite direction. So this is basic level knowledge. Everyone knows about this, so I'm not elaborating more on this. Okay, so beginning with the advanced stuff. Now these 7 listed points over here are extremely important. You need to emphasize and focus on them very properly. First of all, being trusting social media and your so-called info. This is by far the biggest mistake one can commit. 99% of your social media is fake. The influencers, whatever they are showing you is fake. See, I'm not saying that what they are teaching might be fake, might be real, but what they are earning is fake. You have to understand, they are not getting those Lamborghinis from trading income. That is something else. Showing flex. See, I am not saying that they are wrong. I am saying that what they are doing is they are flexing fancy stuffs which are bought from other income, and they are teaching you trading, and you are hoping that they are earning that money from trading. That is the damn thing happening right now. I have created a separate video on this also, because this is the most important topic. First of all, you need to put this shit in your brain, because this is the most important thing. You cannot make this mistake. In the initial days, I also did. I had also trusted some YouTubers, but then later I realized that this is all fake. You have to learn by your own self, and you have to learn from actual traders who are actually earning from trading. I might as well make a video on that also, that how to connect with these people who are actual traders. That would be very interesting. Second one, being strategy hopping. I know, being a beginner and also in the intermediate phase, that strategy hopping looks very lucrative. It's like very fancy, because something is not working, hop. But trust me, strategy hopping will get you nowhere. After certain time, you'll get so much of information that you'll be information overloaded, and your brain will explode while taking a trade. So strategy hopping is the worst thing you can ever do. Coming to the third point, which correlates with the second, not having multiple strategies is one of the biggest mistakes. Now understand the proper difference between point 2 and 3. Wait. See, the point 2 stays strategy hopping. Never hop a strategy. Now strategy hopping means you test the strategy for 1 or 2 months and then it doesn't work, you take a new strategy. That is strategy hopping. Strategy mastery, one by one, means at least you give 6 months, or not even 6 months, I'll do that, at least give 50 trades to a strategy and then decide by the outcome. Master strategies one by one. You need to have multiple strategy because market works in cycles. You cannot be trading one strategy the whole year. That is very important. This I cannot emphasize much on this point. I know that many people will criticize me for this, that you should have one strategy, you should have one, because that is what the influencers have fed in your brain. You have to understand that what we are teaching you here is purely based off experience, purely based off results. And talking of results, if you would have a question that why would you listen to me, so I am not showing you any PNLs. I'm not even interested to show you anything. You just open up my Telegram channel. I have attached the link in description. Check all the trades which I have given and check if we are profitable or not over there. That is the game. I have given you, and not only trades, I share loads of knowledge on Telegram, because I actually, due to my busy schedule, I cannot create videos on a daily basis, but I am available always on Telegram and I give updates live over there. So it is very important to be in my Telegram channel. If you wish to join, you can join. I'll attach the link in the description as well as in the pinned comment. Now the fourth thing. See, the third thing is very important, guys. First, you have to register that you, and now having multiple strategies doesn't mean you have 10 strategies. No. Asset wise or sector wise. Like for example, I'll say that I trade gold using another strategy and I trade Forex using another strategy. That is how it is done. So that is what I want to explain you. Now I can have 2 strategies in Forex also to trade currency pairs. Okay, that is how it is done. Now the fourth thing is logical SL placement. This is one thing I personally, I don't know if you guys do or not, but I personally used to do when I was unprofitable. What I used to do is that I used to place SL based on RR. If I got a trade which was 1:1.8 or something, so what I would do is I would just decrease the SL a little bit. That would increase my RR. So I feel that personally everyone has done this, but don't do this. Don't do this, guys. Instead, what you can do as an alternative is, see, for example, if you get a trade which is 1:1.5 RR, okay, you book partials at 1:1.5 RR if your trade goes profitable, and hold the trade to 1:2.5 RR. Okay, that is it. If it continues, if it does not continue, you trail and take a 1 RR or something, or go at break even. See, it is better than, or moreover, I would say that if it is not matching your RR, you can just avoid the trade. Why do you need to force it? So logical SL placement is very important. Otherwise you will get breakouts. Otherwise you will then say that market hunts my stop losses and all that. Okay. So the next point is trend trading the old way, my friends. Come here. Now I just want to highlight this point enough. Okay. Trend trading the old way. Now what we used to do is we used to see structures and we used to trade. Gone are those days, guys. In 2026 markets are working very differently. You need to understand how the markets are working right now. For that I have created a detailed video on market structure. You have to see that, because I cannot explain everything in this video, otherwise this will get too long. So you have to see that detailed video on market structure if you wish to see, and if you wish to see that how I trade the trend in 2026 currently. Okay, now the next point being not waiting for your entry confluence. This is another mistake. Wait, let's just take this over down. See, now many a times what we do is we are trend traders. Okay, the trend is bullish, we see a nice candle, we enter. Oh my god, the trend is bullish, a very big candle, enter. We don't care about the see, waiting for your entry confluence will get you the best entry. Getting the best entry will avoid FOMO. Then it will give you a good RR, which will further help you in holding your winners. That is how it works. Everything is a chain. So your entry is very important, guys. It should be very precise, and you should wait properly for your entry. Okay, after that The final thing is news trading as a source to earn money. Many traders I have seen do that. What they do is they will open a trade before news 2 to 3 minutes, and they think that hitting some profits is good. See, news is completely random. Neither you know it, neither I know it what's going to happen. And even if you make money in such scenarios, just trading that particular news, see, just opening a trade for that news, that is gambling. That is not trading. What I personally do and what professionals avoid news trading. I have been with hedge fund managers. They tell me that they close positions before news. If the position is up properly and almost at a take profit level or something, or if not, if they are planning to open some trades, they will avoid opening trades during news at least half an hour to 1 hour before news. If they are at that duration, they'll avoid. What news does is they just wicks you out. News wicks out, because what happens usually is, see, for example, this is a trade, okay, USD CAD. For example, we are going bearish, very much bearish, okay. We are having a retest over here. Now everyone will look to sell over here, but news is there in 1 hour. So what would probably happen is we would consolidate over here somewhat, and then we would give a stop loss hunt, a big news, and then we'll move forward in the downside. Now this stop loss hunt will be due to news. This is what happens. This is what currently happened with one of my trades also. I think it was, wait, I'll just show you guys. I think it was USD CAD. So yeah, see, I've pretty much marked this trade. Now this was during CPI. Of course this went totally up, but what happened here, you can see I entered very much during a news time, and what later happened is we got wicked out, and then we've had the superb engulfing 4-hour candle. So of course this trade did not hit the take profit. Of course this has completely negated our view, but see, what I am trying to explain you is that during news, what happens that majority of the times, now this is one case that we did not sell further, but majority of the times what happens is we remove liquidity, we hunt stop losses in one area, and then we go in the original direction where we want to move. So let's get back to our points. Okay, now news. So news trading, what professionals do is they avoid news, and I suggest the same for you guys. Avoid news trading. It does not make any sense to just open trades to earn a quick money. Okay, so that is pure gambling. So that is it for today's video, guys. This was everything which you had to know. These were some common mistakes which an experienced and advanced trader can teach you, not your typical influencers. See the depth in which we covered this video. Just see, do you find any influencers covering the videos like this? That is the game, because they want fame, they want the other ways in which they earn money. So that is why I'm telling you, trusting social media and so-called influencers is the biggest game, biggest lie. What we feel is that we are lagging behind. We are not lagging behind, we are far much ahead. You just need to stop thinking of them. Okay, that is it for this video. Hope you guys like the video. So understand the video, take some value from the video and implement it. That is what I majorly say, that I don't need subscribers. It is okay, don't subscribe to my channel, don't like, don't comment. It's fairly up to you. I don't want all that. What I want is learn, take the knowledge, apply it and get successful, achieve something. That is what I want. Even if some 5 to 6 people also get some good knowledge from this video, they learn something. Not even 5 to 6, even if one person learns something and they actually improve, they actually implement, that is good enough for me. So that is it for today's video, guys. If you wish to join my Telegram channel, as I mentioned, I'll attach the link in the description and comment section. Rest FX Mac on the site.